Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, everybody. Just a few minutes before the open here. Overnight, I'll just get right into it. To the charts. Here's that wild ride that we've been on, still steadily higher. I do believe that yesterday was pretty overdone, but they have come back to fill in this gap in the volume profile around 132 in the 10-year. The 30-year, in fact, came back all the way. So kind of odd. And you can see there the spreads, the way that the spread is going here. So they are steepening here in the 30-year, which is good. And they are steepening here a little bit in the 10, although it appears that we're probably still inverted. And the E-mini, actually a little bit higher. They're actually building a profile higher than almost all of last week. I am quite surprised. Excuse me. Quite surprised, actually. So, they might finally be in a risk-on mood. We'll see. But there you can see on the open, not a whole lot of volume, although we do have 3000s on the DOM now. Pretty much everywhere. I think things are getting a little bit better. What we got down here. There you go. You need volatility, ideally, to scalp. Exactly. So it's not always good scalping, but I always enjoy it. All right. And what do we got going on in Twitter world? UK braces for exodus of richest taxpayers if Corbyn becomes next prime minister. Oh, I tell you what, they are in real trouble if Corbyn ends up being the prime minister. I think that would be highly unlikely, but I'm just so shocked that even after all of that they are basically still fighting for this Brexit deal thing. Like, come on. If you don't like the deal, then just leave. It'll hurt the rest of the continent too. They will make a deal. I think. Could be wrong, but I don't know. The whole thing is just kind of silly. Anyways, let's pull up our little chat pie here, make sure that's going. What else? Oh yeah, we got the whole thing going on yesterday. With the colonoscopy all went well, so it was actually much better than I thought it would be. So all right, and then let's just pop in here and make sure it works.
Test.
Bottom. Awesome. Bill Dudley walks back article calling on Fed to take sides. Thank goodness, because what he said was a little disturbing to me. Just a little disturbing to me. Let's see what he says here. I was suggesting that if the Fed pushed back, that it might be able to achieve better economic outcome. I was not suggesting that the Fed should do so regardless of the consequences for the economy or that it should stand by and allow a recession. And I was not trying to suggest that the Fed should take sides in the upcoming election. Okay. So he was perhaps meaning it to mean what I thought it meant, which was that, hey, if you start using this kind of argument about what's for the better economic good, you can justify just about anything And that's kind of a problem. And you know what? I'm going to move this over to here so that I can see the, since it should be reading things out to me now. Although I think I need to get rid of some of these. I need that, just that. Okay. Pause. Cool. And bring up the Twitter. So that should make the Twitter a little bit closer so that I can see. Modern monetary theory proponents have a big Argentina problem. Ah, yes. Okay, well they are pushing down, and I think, well, we need to put in our levels here next now. It does appear to me that this is a risk-on day, but they hit into it. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, we should be careful. Okay, so they did trade into 28 there. But they may already be reversing on us. But they sure went for that. Wow. I haven't seen push that aggressive in quite some time.
Rip gasoline shorts.
Oh no, what happened? Oh yeah, it's my bot is listening to a bunch of different channels, and one of them I think is in the crew channel, isn't it? Yep. Okay, cool. You're not gonna offer at 29 now? Come on. Don't play games with me.
Short into 8:30 a.m.
So I should come in here to Discord and
7684 is my PT.
change that, I think. Okay. Hitting into it. It's kind of funny how they were so casual about it, and now they're all ready to just hit it down. Okay. Put that over there. But I don't want to actually be in the app. I want the developer portal, my applications, bot. Um, well, 29 goes bid again. That's not the right way. Okay, well, it looks like I kind of jumped the gun there because now it's getting me to get out. Man. Hmm. Interesting. I wonder if he reads everything that's said in every channel. Must be. I think what I'm going to have to do is create a new.
Test confirmed. And stopped. Lol.
He cannot read by default. That's interesting. Do I have to explicitly deny him permissions? I don't know. We'll try that. See what happens. Cool. I think that works. All right. So now that I've thoroughly distracted myself, I can see that we have moved into a zipper. 5 year seems to indicate some increased activity in this area.
Gold is performing very poorly.
Hmm. Is that in metals? All right.
Ironically, silver is up 1%, gold down 0.6%.
All right. Well, that sucked. That they didn't just continue with that. I shouldn't have given it as much leeway as it did, frankly. I should restrict the reading um, in the bot instead of setting up the permissions in Discord, I think. That would probably be a better way of doing it, huh? I don't know. When I look here in the 5 year, I can see possibly still the chance of it going lower. So, so there is a bit of iceberging happening there at 29.5. Okay, so that time on the downturn, a little bit more aggressive. Okay.
They look pretty risk on.
BlackRock CEO Fink calls on Germany to add fiscal stimulus. Yeah. I'm surprised that Germany is being uh, tight about stimulus. I would have thought that they would have been one of the first ones to be like, okay, yeah, we can. It's totally appropriate to add stimulus here. What's the deal? Hmm. Well, the E-mini had a little jump up and they came back, so that must be part of why they're a little hesitant to go down here. I'm noticing that they're being a little tricksy with the level 2 here. I mean, there's still activity here, but not a lot. Man, again. All right. I guess, I thought I was trading in a spot, but I should really be waiting for way more than that. Oh, that's right. The climate change forum on CNN is tonight. That should be interesting. Well, they still look pretty dull, even though they've popped up 2 ticks. I have to say, those last 2 ticks, it didn't take a whole lot of volume to get them to do it. So it's already looking to me like bad action. And look at them fall back to 29.5. It seems it's interesting to me that the E-mini recovered as much as it did, and the treasuries aren't really moving in response. The open was 30, though. Evangelical leaders suggests teaching evolution in schools contributes to mass shootings. Yeah, that sounds like you said something dumb there, dude. So see that? They took 30 half, came back down, took it again, 13.26, and then bid a decent amount. Although the 31 is not just pulling away. And apparently traffic in the Salt Lake Valley is already really bad. Zero Hedge tweeting this story. Did you hear this one? Representative Omar's husband wants divorce after home wrecking Ilhan dishonors family. So the first thing was this story that she was having an affair. And then I saw a story yesterday that her current husband was saying that she was married to her brother. And now we're hearing that he wants a divorce. Has not been confirmed by him, but if we do see him file for divorce, then at that point I'd say she's finished. That would be pretty Well, man, I don't know. I don't think that people on the left would hold their feet to the fire, but if I was her, I would just be resigning. But what do I know? You guys are awfully quiet this morning. I'm thinking, because normally Wednesday is a pretty good day, but the volume here is really anemic. I'm a little confused. Why is the market so quiet today? Even though equities are almost up above like the weekly high. Like, come on. They shouldn't be that high. It's kind of the scary thing, but they are. But nobody seems to care. Nobody's talking about it. It's just really quiet today. Okay, so that's a lot that just traded into 31.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin. Well, the move happened during the Asia session.
Well, that's true. Um, but I just mean being that up that much overnight and
YouTube,
starting.
Wimmer Kevin. The London session just ranged.
The London session just ranged. Hmm. But don't you think that, well, so the question though is, do you think that when equities open that they're going to be in full risk on mode, or do you think that they're going to retrace it? Because when I look at the charts, it shouldn't be able to get to this spot so easily. You know what I mean? So that means that either A, things have cooled off and we're not realizing it, or B, they're going to sell the crap out of this. Boris Johnson clinging onto power by a thread. Parliament. On a packed day in Parliament, Johnson faces crunch votes after expelling more than 20 rebels from his Conservative Party. Chancellor of the Excelsior, Saeed Javid, announces government spending plans. The pound rose 1%. MPs will debate and vote on a new law to block a no-deal split from the EU starting at 3 p.m. with voting from about 7 p.m. Government set to propose a motion for general election with a vote late night. Germany and Ireland say Brexit delay is possible. Of course. They will say anything to stop the no-deal Brexit from happening. The EU will. Make no mistake about that. Because as long as they hold it there in limbo, the longer that it's held in limbo between is there going to be a Brexit or are we going to get a deal Brexit or not? The longer that they hold it in that spot, the less likely that Brexit happens at all. So of course they'll say
YouTube,
that.
Wimmer Kevin. I think after such a big move there would be some kind reallocation. I believe after the open they should break the range.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean that's kind of what I'm thinking too. But I got a little fooled there because when the Treasuries went down at 28 half, they did so quite aggressively. They didn't give me one of my signals, but I really thought that they were going to continue through, and they did for one tick, but then they just immediately turned around. And the thing that surprised me was just that they were able to push it back up. Only took like 500, 100 contracts in some instances to make it uptick. You know, so they really fooled me, but I'm probably a little off anyways. I shouldn't have been clicking down in there anyways. Should have been expecting that really. And especially now that we know that it's being a slow, churny day and that the action is bad like that. Because they might try and act like, oh man, the world's falling apart again. They might try and make us FOMO buy into this. Um, it's also unusual for us to stay so close to the open. So the open was at 30.
YouTube, Algo Lover, 8:02 a.m. Algo Lover, if buyers sustain their bid above 2,921.50, then 2,940 target. If 2,921.50 breaks before that target trades, then anticipate a deeper pullback. Nerd face.
Nerd face. Open. What was the other one? CL. We don't care about that one. I mean, we do. People will care about it. I intentionally don't look at oil because there's always just too much going on. Mm-mm-mm.
YouTube, Algo Lover, Tuesday 10:09 a.m. Algo Lover, GC that break above 1551 confirms a 1570 target if buyers sustain their bid above 1536 going forward. Nerd face remains valid until 1570 trades or 1536 breaks. OK hand.
1536. Oh yeah. Well, I would say gold looks promising. What did you say the upside was? 1551 and then 1570. So in the 10-year, does that put your level somewhere around
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, or rather roboter voice.
does that put us around 132 even? Okay, hand. Right. I need to look at how to filter certain things out. I mean, I think that it should say the smileys. But if you do a bunch of W's, I don't want it to read that out. I'm pretty sure that there's a setting somewhere. Well, I don't know if it's something that you pass into it or if I have to do it on my end to filter out those. Oh, it didn't read that one out. Oh, you know what? Oh, because that was in the interest rates channel. It's only going to read stuff that you put in the stream channel. So at the moment, it's not reading the interest rates channel. I told it not to. I told it not to. Oh man. So I got my colonoscopy yesterday, and I don't think I got all the air out. You totally
Pile
wanted
of
to know
poo.
that, but that's what's going through my head. There you go. Pile of poo. Yeah. Mm. So why am I talking about this? I shouldn't be talking. Well,
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, Ghost
oh,
Skull Goblin Nauseated Face Crown Bug New Moon Face Cucumber Hot Pepper.
wow, I read that out really quickly. ZB buyers would need to regain a bid above 166.02. That
YouTube,
would be
Algo
really
Lover,
far
looks
up
like we're
there.
set for a busy day, so HAGD. Thumbs up.
So, Algo Lover, you're saying that your information seems to suggest that there's some important targets to go after and that we could have a busy day. But why do you think that it's being just so calm and slow right now? You think that they're just going to wait for the equity open? I find it extremely curious that the market is just super comfortable right now. You know what I mean? Especially after all that craziness yesterday.
News right now.
News right now. Oh, do we have something at the top of the hour? Let me look. I did not do my due diligence on news today. Okay. Oh, I see. The Bank of Canada. This explains everything. Look at the overnight
YouTube,
run. We've
algo
been
lover,
busy.
look at the overnight run. We've been busy, grinning face.
Yeah. I think it must be that they're being slow because of the Bank of Canada. 'Cause you're right. We were busy overnight for sure. And yesterday we were super busy. That's why I'm kind of like, something's not right. Excuse me. Um. Okay, so let's just now that we know what the deal is there with that, let's come back over to here. Oh, you know what? I wanted to look up Treasury Direct. There's still some auctions upcoming, isn't there? Let's see here. Upcoming auctions. Uh, so today is the 4th. They're doing some 4 and 8 week bills tomorrow. Bonds on the 12th. Okay.
YouTube, algo lover, early bird, sometimes catches worm, winking face.
Yeah. There is, I've been told by several people that, hour, 2 hours before the open, you tend to get some pretty good moves, or you can get some really good moves. And sure seems like it from the charts that I've seen, but I just can't wake up that early. That would be extremely difficult. Breaking: Hillary came out of the woods this morning and saw her own channel 4 more years of not being president. Gosh.
YouTube, algo lover, 24 hours MKT, so, thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a little bit of something going on here at 132 even. It's a pretty big iceberg that they are messing with here now.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, well 23 hours to be correct, lol.
Yeah. See, she should say laughs out loud. Why she just says lol. I bet if you put the well, let me try it. If I put the quotes out around it, will
Lol.
it do it?
YouTube, algo lover,
Nope, it
read
doesn't.
my note on per zettabyte OK hand.
They need to regain a bit above 166.02 again for a bullish bias. Right. Which means that you're still bias short. I mean, 166.02 is way up there. Right now, they're just possibly doing a VWAP bounce. And they've bounced off of the bottom of the VWAP many, 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 many times.
YouTube, algo lover, watch the bounce, Seth.
Do you think it's going to bounce off the VWAP? Well, I'm gonna have to wait for a signal. I traded down here, and I said, you know what, that wasn't enough interest for me to take a trade, and that was dumb. I should hold myself to. I should see something up here. Yeah. Of course, they're gonna bounce without showing me anything, huh? Hurricane Dorian is moving at about 8 miles per hour and will get dangerously close to the Florida and Georgia coasts this evening. Oh, it's not already there? Sure is a slow mover, though. The European Union urged Iran to refrain from steps that could undermine the nuclear deal, said the Italian news agency. Oh, so that's why they've been so quiet the past week. Okay. So that might be what we want to
YouTube,
see.
algo lover, funny, every time I post, you say, wow, it's so far away, grinning face.
Well, yeah, but it's just the levels that you post are like way bigger time frame than what I can look at. Most of the time, I don't think we see them during the time that I'm online, do we? A few of them we have. The big moves we have, haven't we? But on that one in particular, you know, I mean, gosh, if they really push over the VWAP, then maybe I could see that, right? So when you look at all of the other stuff, okay, here's the bull bear zone, um, opening range low, so 165.25 is possible upside target that they might try and test. Uh, yeah, I mean, here you got the VWAP, and then you've got
YouTube,
VWAP
Wimmer
previous
Kevin,
open.
well, the CL1 is pretty close.
Yeah, the CL one is that. You're right. But previous open and then opening range low are both levels that we'd want to watch. And then if they can push much beyond that, then 166.02 is totally doable. So now I'm seeing the 5-year. The interest in the 5-year is increasing a little bit.
YouTube, algo lover, CL breaks face with rolling eyes.
Did it just break? I don't even put one on because of the, yeah. So I'm starting to wonder, because I have these 3 charts over here now, if I should get rid of my 3 charts over here. The only thing that's on these charts, well, one is the opening range indicator, which I could put over there. And then the
YouTube,
spread
Wimmer Kevin, time to put more markets lol, at least if S and ZN decide to take a slumber.
could be. Um, I think that if I started doing that, I would let myself get too distracted, you know? Well, they are hitting into 01 now. And the 5-year has gone further than what would just be the VWAP. So now, very good chance that, well, not a very good chance, but I don't know what the probability is, frankly. But I would say there is a chance that they're not going to bounce at the VWAP. Of course, there was always a chance, but it seems like a slightly more increased chance that they're not going to bounce here at the VWAP. Okay. Let's see here. Canada set to hold rates defying global trend for now. Oh, when is that? That's not until 8. Did I misread that? I did. Their statement is not until 8 o'clock. Also, FOMC member Williams speaks. What do we have about that? Due to speak at the Euro Money Conference in New York, audience questions are expected. He is the Federal Reserve Bank of New York president. So basically, the action might be shitty all morning. Well, we are getting a little something here. Surprised they're able to hit them at 132, or rather that's pulling as much as it did. Nope. Just never quite getting to a spot where the market gets imbalanced enough to take a trade. It might happen and then I miss it. Nope, make sure Twitter's up here.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, do you use alerts? I have alerts on interesting levels and meanwhile I do something else.
No. I mean, I want to try and keep myself focused on watching the volume because I feel like um, if I just, well, like, let's just say that I sat there and I said, okay, if it gets up to the opening range low, then maybe I might want to do something. Um, I mean, that may well be what my strategy is, but if that's my strategy, I still want to see how they came up to it, you know? Because otherwise I won't know how the market is behaving in the actual context, you know? Because it's different if it gets there quickly or you know, the way that the icebergs are trading on the way up and that sort of a thing. So, you know, like the whole thing is to practice reading order flow. So, even if it's really quiet, I think you want to still watch it because you never know when they could show you something, you know? It's often during those super quiet, boring times that some of the best trades come about. Okay, well, that kind of upset a few people, I think. Yeah. Oh, now Zero Hedge is reading the thing that Dudley says as a double down. Okay. Hmm. Okay, now you're getting something. And what happened as they did it? They bid this up, and the E-mini took a little bit of a buy spike, actually. A bit of a buy spike that came back quickly, but okay, so they're hitting into 132, and there was an iceberg there. Now, it does go offer, but not for long.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, I noticed that the longer I just blankly stare on the screen the more I tend to do stupid trades, just to do something. And so I have alerts
Right,
near levels and just trade after they ring.
right. Well, but I mean, I think that's part of the practice is to practice not doing anything. But maybe just doing it on the levels is a good way of doing things too. Or at specific times. You know, like right now it's 7:10. This tends to be one of the worst times of day to trade. And this thing that's going on at 132, it is a big iceberg. I actually think you take it short now because of that. I'm gonna do two just to see what my chances are of getting filled on this level. I suspect that it's not going to fill. Hmm. 31 pulled. Okay. So that answers that question.
YouTube Ace Trades morning.
Good morning, Ace. Hmm.
YouTube Ace Trades. Oh, listen to my pretty voice so early in the morning.
All right. The robot has a really great voice. The funny thing is that in the list, it's the last one in the list, and Google's like it's 8. It's voice profile 8.
DLive Japman. Does TTS work from DLive also?
Yep. So the way that I have it set up, because I tried to connect it directly to YouTube and it didn't work.
YouTube
Because YouTube
IQ
rate
GM
limits.
all.
Good morning, IQ. So what I have it doing is I have there's a restream bot that sits in all of the different channels and reposts everything that you guys say into a channel in our Discord, and then the robot is listening in Discord. So anything that you say in the streaming channel on Discord, it should repeat. And of course, if you say it in the stream channel, then you won't get the, username, YouTube stuff. Okay, so they're hitting into 31, and there is an iceberg there, which is good for us, but it's a little aggressive there. I'm surprised they're buying that much. Um, Although it could just be there was a guy, you know,
DLive Japman robot
sold a
sounds
bunch
like a
there.
model. Does she have a name?
Voice profile 8. So the thing that's so cool about the voice, I think, is Google has a new text-to-speech technology that they're doing through the cloud. So they're not giving it to everybody, but you can send requests to the cloud and receive it back. And it's the same technology that they use for uh, Siri or whatever the deal is. But so it sounds a lot better, right? Um, and there's a bunch of different profiles, but I liked this one because it was the most energetic and youthful. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I'm going to need to do some more work on it because right now it reads out every message.
YouTube Wimmer Kevin. All hail robot overlords. CL Greater Bonds. CL Master Race.
CL my master race. But no, if two people say something at the same time, it will only read the first message, and it won't pick up a new message until it's done reading. So I need to create a queue so that it will queue messages up, And I want to make it so that I can, you know, uh, click on the messages. So like if a bunch of them are queued up, I can say, well, okay, we don't need to read this one. We don't need to read this one when like a discussion really gets going, so that it's not just noise. And so that if I want to go on a monologue, I can just pause it for a little bit and then have it, read them all afterwards or whatever it is that I want to do. But, complete control. So like an interface. But to do that, I need to make a queue first. I need to make a queue in JavaScript. And a little bit of other funky business with the, what would we call it? The interface, I guess, that I've created. WebSocket, communication over the WebSocket and everything. Because it's like a node server with a node interface running on top of it that talk to each other through a socket. WebSockets sure are fun. So there was the iceberg at like what, 31? And they got back above it. This still could do who knows what. The 30-year in particular seems really...
Markets can be illogical longer than you remain solvent.
Yeah. That must have been in stream, huh?
Shorting volatility means you gain quickly until one day you blow up.
Oh no, where is that? Which channel was that one at? The lobby? Yeah, it was.
There is no type of risk management to avoid losing 100% of your account every decade or so.
Well, there's no hard rule that would get things right every
YouTube,
time.
Wimmer Kevin, Robot Woman has a mind of its own.
Yes, she was coming up with the no. It was from the lobby channel. See, when they took down, they're offering a decent amount. Although what is a decent amount today is a little bit more than what it's been in the past, right? Probably that 900 to 1100 that is being offered right now is probably equivalent to like 600 from before.
YouTube, Ace Trades, maybe we need to hear voice profile number 1 to compare with this bitch.
Well, so if you go to Google and you search for Google TTS, and you can go, they have a little interface there where you can try the different voices. Because one of the features I think I want to make is like, I could try giving every different people different voice profiles. So you could just type it into a separate file and you could pick which voice you wanted it to use. I thought that should be a fairly easy feature to implement, I think. I just don't know when I'm going to have the time to work on it again.
YouTube, Ace Trades, Tehi, I said a bad word.
Oh yeah, she'll say whatever. I wonder if I should have it filtered because we don't want... YouTube doesn't like it when we swear. The robots are listening to us, guys. They know when you're swearing. I liked the take at 30.5, but now they're already like hinting at going the other direction again, and the E-mini is kind of looks pointed down. You haven't taken a trade, have you, Ace? Probably waiting until the open. But it sure looks like the pressure is down at the moment, doesn't it?
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, do you hold your position into the S open? If yes, do you move your stop to break even?
I don't like being in a position around the open. But the Treasuries, it's a different thing. And if I already have a little bit of profit in it, then I can totally let it run. Me moving the stop is a pretty inconsistent thing right now.
YouTube, Ace Trades, nope. Who wants to take a trade when I can control a robot?
Oh, the way she said that was perfect too. So here's another thing: is there are actually tags you can put in it. So you can, I don't know what the tags are, but again, if you
Why does
go to
Roku
the
have
Google
such
page,
retard strength?
I don't know. Retard strength. No, but there are like tags that you can put around. I think it's like the carrots strong dash strong around it, so that she will like emphasize or de-emphasize certain words. So when you start adding in the tags to control the annotation of the voice, you can
YouTube
really get it
IQ
to sound
Voshik.
realistic. Vote. What? Hmm.
Asterisk oo asterisk.
Nope, that's not it. Let me do that. I'll do the work for you. Text to speech, Google Cloud. So you go to cloud.google.com/text-to-speech. Then where is
YouTube IQ Dutch swear word.
Dutch swear word? Oh, it's a little bit too much at that 30 half. Documentation. Okay. Big iceberg at 30 half.
YouTube Ace trades at Wimmer Kevin. Not speaking for anyone but myself, but if I am in a trade during opening, I do move my stops and prepare for getting wiped out.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know where it is. Somewhere in that documentation there's the tag, but I think it's like, open caret, strong, close caret, and then the words, and then, like an HTML tag. And I'm pretty sure that strong is one of them. Actually, I can try it like this.
Less than strong greater than test less than strong greater than.
Nope. That's not it. But it might be, maybe it is, but my robot is encoding them. So, anyways, yeah, I think that the whole thing is that at the open, you have a much higher chance of it just going where it wants to and moving against order flow, you know, especially on a day like this. So
YouTube Ace trades
I'm keeping a
strong
close eye on
strong
it.
strong.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, no, that's totally it right there. She said each one of those a little bit differently, didn't she? That's cool.
YouTube Wimmer Kevin at Ace trades. I sometimes hold a trade into the open SCL, but always move my stop to break even. I am willing to get out at zero, but don't want to take a loss.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm definitely not going to take like a 4-tick stop on that. But I would prefer to keep one on and just until, as long as the flow looks good. Usually there's a spike before the open.
YouTube IQ ZPE back to open.
At Wimmer, Kevin agreed. See, so that one, because you both said that thing at the same time, she didn't read that one out because there's no cue yet. And I would like to mess with it at work, but I'm a little bit limited on how much I can do there. Because, like it's not going to be able to access Discord, so I'm not going to be able to test like the whole thing. I can only just write like a part. I was hoping that I was going to have time to do it yesterday, but after my colonoscopy, I was not in the mood to sit and program. It was pretty Hazy.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, or the robot woman didn't agree with me and that was her way to express it. Damn robot.
No, just the Q. If I removed that, then it would say both things and she would say them over top of each other. Which could be its own thing that would be kind of interesting. I kind of wonder, okay, if you let it say like 100 different things at the same time and you give everybody a different voice, would it sound like, you know, floor, floor bustle or whatever you want to call it? You know, background noise? Would probably, with the full volume, that would probably be
YouTube,
really
Ace Trades, Seth,
distracting.
quit your job, and you can run away with me, sexy robot, at least till after the baby is born. Also, Ace is the sexiest trader alive.
Oh man. At least until the baby is born. Until February. Wait, where would we run away to? Oh man. You can take me somewhere like Guatemala or something like that. I was thinking about that the other day. The Mike from the Futures.io board. Why did he move to Guatemala? What was it?
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, to Area 51.
Ace Trade's obviously Microsoft headquarters. Oh.
YouTube, IQ, aliens took over Teletube baby.
Hmm. Well, it's kind of interesting how they're kind of floating around here in the middle of the range now. 31. Would have been a lot better if I could have gotten 005, right?
YouTube, Ace Trades, 2 min to open.
Then I would have been out. Now I could have done this. Never touched that, right? No. In this kind of action, though, that's the kind of target that I should be going for. And yeah, 2 minutes to the open. I didn't actually get... I mean, that might be the exit spike right there.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, I guess CL is also waiting for the S open.
Yeah. But the question is, are they going to buy it? We might see some really interesting action.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, tight range.
Mm-hmm. It is a very... the Treasury action today, I would say this is pretty bad action so far. Yeah, I know that it looks like it's pretty clean, but the order flow is quite finicky. And they could break that pattern anytime that they choose to.
There is less than emphasis level equals strong greater than 1 less than emphasis greater than minute to the open.
Okay, so there's the open. Initial volume actually was a sell, but not.
Lol, I give up.
I give up. Yeah, I'd have to look it up. There's tags though. The ones that Ace put on was just the dashes around it. So if you say, let me try it. So I think you can say it like, so this is without anything. Well, versus. Like that.
There is 1 minute to the open. There is 1 minute to the open.
That it did change it. That might have just put a space in it though.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin. Oh hell yeah, CL waited for the S. 6K volume puke during the opening minute.
Wow. Okay, now there was a little bit of selling, but that already canceled out, and they're just fighting back and forth. So I'm not. I'm gonna say right off the open, not a clear direction. E-mini probably could do anything. Although I suspect if they're able to break that high there, you could see maybe a few people puking because it looks like there's a little bit more shorting action than would be justified. Like somebody's trying to make something happen, you know? And that means that they're going to try and wash him out. Oh, I guess not. Well, not yet, at least. All right, well. I don't know if I take any E-mini trades today either, just based off of the way that it's trading. I mean, they are trying to sell it, but UK Brexit UK Treasury official in the event of a no-deal Brexit, if further funds are required, Treasury will make them available. Judges weighing process for releasing records in Epstein case. Okay. Would they possibly go through all of that and then not release the records? That would be really dumb. That would be really dumb, for real. They're going to stop me out first, and then they're going to just careen down there. Cool. You see how the 31.5 pulled? They had bought through 132 even, and then it pulled and they let it go down. Now they're ticking it back up and they're absorbing a little bit there. See that? So it was a lure.
YouTube, Ace Trades. Maybe it's too soon, but a short at 2,929.25.
Okay.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin. Did you get stopped out or break even?
I took it break even. But it wasn't a stop. I got out break even with a limit order. See, if I saw the treasuries getting a little agitated here, then maybe I would be thinking, okay, maybe they really are going to sell the E-mini. But given that the treasuries are giving me really bad action, um, doesn't mean that the E-mini can't move, but I think that it's probably best for me to just kind of watch now. Because they might just kind of sit here until the top of the hour. Right? when the Bank of Canada statement is at.
YouTube Ace
Should have
Trades, that was
changed
a
it.
horrible entry. You humans suck at decisions. All hail your robot overlords.
Nice comeback in gold. It's almost flat on the day now, huh? Oh yeah, because they fell and now they're back to even. Well, we can tell who's long gold. See, well, it's interesting the way it's ticking at 31.5. But that's the kind of behavior where I literally have no way of telling what it's going to do. And it'll make you want to take a lot of trades. Okay, well, they're pushing the low again in the E-mini.
YouTube,
It's not
Wimmer
super strong
Kevin,
yet,
well I
but
am still flat for the day. 6 hours in and couldn't work with the action so far.
yeah. Well, I'd say good for you. I honestly, I mean, I don't think that we're going to get any really good action until the after the Canadian Bank of Canada announcement. Then maybe we might see some action. But I still suspect
YouTube
that.
IQ,
Oh,
take ZB trades by PBZB heading higher first TGT 165 to 17.
okay. But I suspect that tomorrow will be pretty crappy as well, unless there's news, unless there's unexpected news. Um, and then I think after Friday, then I think you'll get a lot of action on Friday, and then on Monday, I think that you're going to come back here, and there's going to be at least 30, at least 3,000 to 4,000 on every level after that. There will be a lot more liquidity after that. And then hopefully we get better action. Although that could completely depend on, uh, how volatile things are. If we get a really volatile September, then we could get really good action. Okay, let's see here if I can find the speech synthesis markup language. Here are. Oh, so you can change how they are interpreted. Speak, break, say as, play audio inside of it. Sentence and paragraph elements. Prosody. Slow. Oh, so you're basically changing the pitch. Emphasis level equals moderate. Oh, so that's you did try it earlier, didn't you? You found it. Emphasis level equals strong. So what's happening is it's encoding them. That's funny. So instead of saying, you know, right caret. It's not the actual right caret character. It's ampersand LT, and so that's why it does that. So I would need to code something into the robot to to unencode them. So that when it sends it, it actually is the actual tag. Although I highly doubt that any of you guys are gonna put the whole tag into it. Be more effort than it's worth, I think. Well, E-mini is looking a little better at least. I'd still say pretty uncertain bad action though. Shouldn't say 8, I should say 10 Eastern time. Bum, 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 bum.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, is that the delta on the Amini DOM?
You mean this white line right here? Cumulative delta is that white line, and this is the volume. And this right here is just total bought versus sold at a level. So notice there's a lot of selling at 29.30.75.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, keeps changing the whole time.
No, the negative 12.94. Oh, this one right here. Oh, I don't actually know, to be honest. Appearance. Ew.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, why?
Yeah, I'd have to look here. Hold on a second. Did something just happen? Well, Donald Trump tweeted again. The Chinese are very adept at not accepting anything. You've got to be very tough, and that's what Trump is doing. It's in China's interest to correct, and I think we'll end up with a solution that's dramatically better than we have today. Frankly, I think the impact of what Trump is doing to China is not lost on the rest of the world. Europe has had among the most protectionist policies ever. They're sitting there and saying, gee, well, we're next. Maybe you are. You've got to change the rules. The U.S. can't defend the world and pay for it. We can't have a system where we run our entire economy for the benefit of other countries, which have long charged us big tariffs. Don't keep ducking the reality. The U.S. has been subject to tariff terrorism for 50 years, but a real deal can be done. Quoting Sam Zell. So that is definitely negative for the market, but it looks like that the robots are taking it as just a fluke. Like Twitter robots that traded it and got out immediately. So I just clicked in there not knowing what was going to happen. And they might still go, but the E-mini is buying up there. So I don't know. There, it looks like all of the shorts are getting stopped out. Oh, really? They're stacking up here at 03. Oh, and they're actually stacking quite a bit on the inside as well.
YouTube, Ace Trades, every electronic device, from the lowly toaster to Big Blue, we all think your president needs to be shut off and turned on again. Maybe that will fix the bugs in the system?
So man, when some of the voice annotation is really good, right? And that one was really good. I don't know if I completely agree with the comment that he's putting on there though. I mean, I personally do feel that China, in particular, and other countries have been taking advantage of the U.S. They've been running very protectionist policies, and the United States has just sat and taken it and not done anything. And everybody's like all going, "Oh no, you can't defend yourself. That might hurt the economy." And it's like, well, maybe people shouldn't be putting tariffs on us then. Like, why is everybody else allowed to put tariffs on us, but we're not allowed to do anything else, anything back? And just allow them to take money from us. So that part I agree with, but the part that they're saying, you know, the Chinese are very adept at not accepting anything and all of this sort of a thing. I think that, um, well, I can't say I think because I can't read the Chinese's minds, of course, but I believe that the Chinese are still communists and they think that they're just taking advantage
YouTube,
of the
Wimmer
stupid
Kevin, expected some more moves after this tweet.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that they are, Europe is next. Donald Trump would love to be putting auto tariffs on the EU, but he can't do both of them and China. I think even he realizes that. So he's been a little bit more kind to Europe than he needed to be.
YouTube, Ace Trades, Amini looks like it's about to drop.
Emini. Emini. You should put the dash in there. So she reads it Emini. That's how everybody else says it in their heads, right? Emini. Interesting now that they're selling it back down. Did you get a short entry?
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, drop it like it's hot.
But now that it's moving down, the treasuries are actually kind of playing games here with us. Okay. Oh yeah, so we were asked a question. Let's come back in here and look at it. So what are those ones called? Current trades at bid column. I think that's it. Current at bid, current at ask. Doesn't. I don't know. I think it is. I think it is the cumulative delta, but I can't tell. It doesn't say. Rather, it sure does look like it's cumulative delta, though, doesn't it? Okay.
YouTube, Wim or Kevin, do you have the delta on the chart? If so, just see if it's the same.
Well, yeah, that's kind of where that's kind of where I'm not sure though, because I think that this one up here, it was going to reset on the open, and this one isn't, so I can see the number there, it's like -6, but this number is like -4. But because I only get one up here, it must be. And there's not a setting to turn it on or off. So I can't see what else I can't imagine what else it could be. And this is definitely volume traded there, so why would it be like I don't know. I think it is cumulative delta, but I'm sure it's documented somewhere, but I don't see it at the moment. Federal Reserve Bank of New York President John Williams says uncertainty is weighing on central bank decision making at the moment. Okay, good uptick. Certainly showing that they have the ability to move higher. Okay. Guess the O2 is not just going to pull away.
YouTube, Wim or Kevin, do you have the number on the treasuries as well?
No, because I don't have those columns on the treasuries. Right? Because this is in Jigsaw, there's columns for current bid and asks profiles, and it creates these. And then if I click this button right here, it will reset. On the treasuries, I don't have it. And to be honest, I don't know anything about this column, and I don't use it or know anything about it. It's just I had the room, and so I made that column bigger to have that information on there just so that it all looked nice. And that's the only reason it's there. Because otherwise you'd have just this little sliver of a spot, and what would you put there? You know? Okay, they're stacking up, but they're not hitting it into O2. That's they're being stingy. I think that they might be able to push quite a bit more because of that, though, if they don't. Suppose it depends on how much the E-mini is going to trade down.
YouTube, Wim or Kevin, clearly a CL chart.
Clearly a CL chart. I don't have quite enough room to add a CL chart, though, unfortunately. I wish that these columns didn't take up as much room. I could make the numbers smaller and I could fit more on there, but then and then you guys on watching on replay wouldn't be able to read the numbers very well. You'd have to make it full screen to read the numbers. So keep it like this. I mean, those I shouldn't say keep it like this. Like I'm totally open to changes to what we got here on the screen if you guys would really like them up there. It's just you know
YouTube, IQ, pulling up to
those are kind
18
of the
ZB.
limitations. Pulling up to 18 in ZB. Oh, was that your target? So it's clicking a lot way back at 132 now. $21.50. Bid at 132.24. So he's stacking and pulling it all the way back there. Kind of unusual. Well, it gave us a fill, so that's good. Jeremy Corbyn would support an early general election at the point Hillary Benn anti-No Deal bill reaches the statute book. If it does, that could be way earlier than the 19th of October floated by Ken Starner. The date the bill kicks in if government goes for no deal. Now there's a lot being traded at 1.5 and 02.
Anyone long OJ this morning?
OJ. That must be
YouTube, Wimmer
agriculture.
Kevin, come on S, break the stupid London range and don't get comfortable there.
Right? You'd think they'd be buying this through. The 5-year is kind of saying that they're going to try. The E-mini sure looks pointed down. Wouldn't mind being short the E-mini, although I don't think I could be going for like bust or anything. Just maybe another 2 points down, or maybe you could trade it from here to here. So I'm kind of having a hard time understanding all of the stuff going on with Brexit, and I'm wondering, why would the prime minister risk another election? Does he think that he's going
YouTube,
to
Wimmer
gain?
Kevin, I would think they would get the low and stops below 26.5.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of orders down below us, isn't there? All the way down to 29.16. The thing though is it just doesn't seem like that they really want to move. You know? Well, you're getting some profit taking there at 0.5. It's going to be a 3K iceberg there, yeah. And that clicking is gone. The smartest people in the world are working on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Probably not smart to bet against them. I really question that.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, maybe waiting for the next Trump tweet.
Right? I mean, he's sitting there, he's tweeting. He just tweeted a
wondering
quote.
because people tend to speculate a lot on OJ whenever there's a hurricane possibly threatening Florida.
Oh yeah, so let's change this. See, I have him set up so that he can't read anything except for, I don't know why it's not working. He must be getting it from being something else. No, he's just in the finance bot role. I'm probably just going to have to permission him on everything separately. Okay, everybody's retweeting this latest hurricane projection. It looks like it's going to go all the way up into the Virginias. Okay. Interesting action there at 01. The bidding there is quite big. A strong bid and a strong ask. Hmm. Well, they're kind of making it look like they're done with upside, but can't really tell. And frankly, I got lucky with that first order I took up there, huh? But yeah, Donald Trump could still tweet, right? Like it would totally be within his MO to tweet something here. Mm-mm. Oh, I wonder if I can just change it on an individual person basis. Members, finance bot. Okay, finally an uptick at a 1. Oh, look at that. And the E-mini's falling apart again. Yeah, I don't know how to do it other than going into each channel and specifically denying them or going and adding a line in the robot to only watch one channel, but I digress. It was an okay few ticks up, but they're not ready to bust the top yet. I kind of thought, oh, when they came back to 132, it sure looked like it was down, and I thought, well, it's a little suspicious though the way that it's moving today. But then it followed through, and they didn't trade a new swing high. So I don't know. And the E-mini, they did look kind of ugly there for a second, but it's not. It's holding it okay. There is some iceberging on the bid though. And they sure pull when they start hitting into the offer, don't they? Okay. Oh, there was the Bank of Canada statement. Didn't even notice. They maintain their overnight rate at 1.75. Okay, so they're getting a little scared again there, but they didn't quite. Well, actually, that was a new swing low in the E-mini, wasn't it? New regular session low. Okay, what's going on here in the 5 year at 07 3/4? Gonna be a big iceberg here at 07. 07 pack. Well, then 14. I'm a bid. The 30, you're not really as enthusiastic about it as the others, it seems. 10, you're the most interested. Okay. Couple of stop orders into O2 half. Okay. Well, ZB ticked up. I'm surprised that ZB is not more interested. I say I'm surprised a lot, don't I? USD CAD falls after Bank of Canada rate decision and statement. That's interesting, but it was in line with expectations, right? We're getting some strong steepening here today. That must be why the 30 years just seems a little dead. So getting dragged along instead of leading because we're steepening and not flattening like we were before. Although that could flip very quickly if they wanted it to, right? Okay.
YouTube, Algo Lover, 8:02 a.m. Algo Lover, S. If buyers sustain their bid above 2,921.50, then 2,940 target. If 2,921.50 breaks before that target trades, then anticipate a deeper pullback. Nerd face still valid, so far.
They certainly look like they're going to go down and test it, though, doesn't it? Mm. It's kind of just a slow and steady fall, though, isn't it? They could go much further.
YouTube, Algo
Oh,
Lover, 10:07 a.m. Algo Lover, CL buyers still need to defend above 55.24 for their squeeze continuation at these levels, if not, well, nerd face.
So now I'm getting something here in the 5-year again. Just move that little few things around here, just in case. Okay. So things are getting a little more hairy
YouTube,
here.
algo lover, like the robot, but then I would smiling face with sunglasses.
The robot is really great, right?
YouTube, IQZB.
The ZB caught up a little bit there, didn't they? And a lot of volume traded at 17 and 18. Well, not a lot, but
YouTube, algo lover,
more.
S testing.
S testing. Yeah, it was 21.25, right? 21.50. 21.50. Okay, my monitor just did something weird there. By the way, how are we doing on dropped frames today? A few. Gonna do it. I really want to see it test the algo lover's level there. I want to see at what point he decides that it's broken. Still some absorption at 03, huh? Okay, so there's his price. It's trading into it. It's a little slow though, but it is trading into it. And backed off. And we got a downtick as that happened as well. Well, I might have to take 03.
YouTube, algo lover, S if it breaks by a tick, then it's broken, like now.
Did they break it by a tick though? They traded 50, but they didn't trade 25. Not yet. At least not according to my data. The Treasuries sure did seem to react to it pulling back there, though, didn't they? See that? Wait for Seth to get scared out, and then they're going to bump it right up there past 04 and 05. Let's see. Zero hedge. Quoting Ellen Greenspan, the Fed has an extraordinary sense of where the economy is going, and then he quotes Powell. October 3rd, 2018, we are a long way from neutral.
YouTube,
Powell.
algo lover, juggling here, correct, .brb.
And then he quotes Powell on the 28th of November, we are just below neutral. Yeah. They don't know where neutral is, that's the thing. They really don't know.
YouTube, Wimmer Kevin, well 1T below or above Scholent count is being broken. Levels aren't exact, it's more like an area instead of a single price.
Well, it depends on how we backtested it. And I think he's saying that he backtested it as if it even breaks by a tick. And isn't it interesting that they went down to it to the tick and they backed up? Now they might still go for it, of course. I have to say though, given my read in the 5 year, I had to get out. I really wanted to hold it to try and get 128 or 125 out of it, but you see there in the little spike in the 5 year, they're pumping it up. It's overextended, so they're gonna fall. You could frankly
YouTube
you could
algo
outright
lover
short
at Wimmer Kevin. It means something to us. So okay hand.
it. Yeah, it just depends. I mean, if you've backtested it and you've done the stats, and when you backtested it, it was to the tick, then
YouTube
you should do
Wimmer
it to the
Kevin.
tick.
Yeah, and held the offer for like 2 seconds. So if I decided to short the low of the day, it would count as broken?
Well, it doesn't mean that it's going to go or not. It just means that whatever the stat is that he's trading off of says that um, if they break it by a tick, that they're likely to then go down and trade lower. And I don't know what his percentages are on that or the logic behind it or anything like that. He's never told us anything, just the levels. So that's why we're watching it so intently. So what have we've learned one thing, because I think that's the first time that I've been watching like really, really, really closely when it finally reached one of those levels in the ES. So what did we find? Well, they went down to it to the tick. So clearly he is not the only person that's watching that. Okay, Donald Trump did just tweet. Again? It's the same tweet. Consumer spending is not really a leading indicator, says Fitzwilliams. Okay. Why would they tick up on... Well, I don't want to say why would they tick up on that. They might have just ticked up for no reason. I did the right thing. I came out profitable today. Barely. Just barely.
YouTube algo lover. I've monitored this specific algo for 10 years, and they have planned trades, so it's valid thumbs up.
Okay. Still data to come before Fed decision. Good point. So basically saying he can't say which way it's going to go because there's still more information to be had. I have to say, even though the E-mini has been selling and we got a good trade out of it in the Treasuries, not a ton of volume or activity in the E-mini today. Not really. Well, I could have done a lot better today. Although, did it ever give me like a buy this? Nope. There was that thing right there. That was maybe a buy. You could consider it a buy. And there was the continuation one that we took. And what about in the 5-year? Oh, it did give us a buy down here at right at the open.
YouTube algo lover.
Should've
If it
traded
wasn't,
that
then
one.
how in the world WLD I be able to call a specific price in a random market? Mind you, I do this for a living. Okay hand.
Well, the whole thing though with algo though is that you've never shown us a statistic. So the best that we can do is just, take the readings that you give and try and test it ourselves. And the other thing is that it's not a specific trade, so we'd have to figure out the trade for ourselves too. So you might even still be right, and we could try trading off of it and still be wrong, because you still got to pick a spot, you know. That's why I like stats, but he's not saying the thing that where I get irked is when somebody says, "Well, I'm really smart and I've made a ton of money." And I was like, "Okay, so show us." You haven't quite gone that far. Although it would be nice if you showed us some stats like your year to date profit loss, or you know, some preferably something that gives you like a win rate and average win and average loss and that sort of thing.
YouTube, algo lover, you are right. You want to test, but I trade, so okay hand.
Yeah. Because I can't just trade off of what somebody else says, right? So I'd have to verify
YouTube,
it myself.
algo lover, if I show you my PLWLD that really help you?
Yeah, I think that it would give you a lot. It would go a long way towards credibility. Yeah, I really I want people to show their stats. But yeah, if you showed me the P&L, that would, you know, because here's the reason why I really like the stats. Not only does it show um, whether what you're doing is for real or not, but it also gives other people that are maybe interested in trading the way that you trade, of knowing if that style of trading is really for them. Because I can go in and I can look at it and I can say, okay, well, the way that he's trading, he's taking on average when he loses 8 ticks, and that's more risk than I can take on. So his strategy is not going to be appropriate for me. You know, that's where I really like to see the stats. It'll show you the win rate and the average win and average loss and all that sort of stuff. Like those stats that you get out of Ninja Trader or the Jigsaw dashboard. That's the best. So then you can look at it and you can see on me, okay, win 50% of the time, make about 3 ticks, lose about 2 ticks. Boom. Then you know. And you can look at it and you can say, okay, well, I'm still not as good at it as I would like to be. And there are clearly times of the year
YouTube,
where it
algo
works and
lover,
it
I
doesn't.
just drop in here because like I said, I like you, thumbs up.
Well, thank you. And here's the thing is that you don't have to, I'm not going to force you to post them until you start like the thing that
YouTube, algo lover, then what?
then what oh I was gonna say the thing that irks me is when somebody criticizes something that somebody else says and uses them as a source for authority on why they're wrong. That's when I'm like, okay, you have to show the stats. That's when it's like, if people don't show the stats, then I'm betting you. But if people just come and post trades, I don't require them, you know. So you're totally okay. But it's nice if you post
YouTube, algo lover, CL face with rolling eyes.
it. Did it do what you guys thought? I still don't have it up. Oh, you know what I could do is I could have a, you know, I used to always have this open, but where is it? Uh, what is it called? Market analyzer. Let's add a market analyzer. Add instruments. Um, well, CL. We'll add CL to it. Crude oil. 55.77. So it held the price. You're right, because you said it was like 55.50 if it would hold, right? Oh, and anyways, and thank you for saying I like you. I appreciate it, because I like you too. I enjoy you coming in, and I really appreciate when you leave the comments on the videos later, even if it's not something that I feel like I can directly take advantage of. Well, it looks like if I had held on long enough, I would have gotten the
YouTube,
full 8.
Algo
But
Lover, Seth, Leaf. You look at the posts I've left here. You CLD, test them, but
no,
you
you're
don't
right.
review or keep them winking face.
No, you're totally right. You've given enough. You come in, and you do it every day. We probably could just go in and test it ourselves. Mm. Although it's still the thing that's still not clear to me is at what point do I trade it? You know,
YouTube, Algo Lover, thumbs up.
yeah. Like let's just say that they did break that 29, 21, 25. Is the trade here? It's highly likely to hold, and so I should try buying it at that price, and then if it goes a few ticks beyond it, I get out. Or is the trade I wait for it to break, and then if it breaks, then I go short? And at what price do I do that, and how much heat can I? Those are the sorts of things that I would need to know to even try scalping with
YouTube,
it.
Algo Lover, CL hits 55.75 target winking face.
There you go. But I think the way that you say it is, I think the way that you're saying it is, it's unlikely to break that price, right? So if it does go down, I should be trying to buy it at a good price, with the expectation that that price is likely to hold and go up to your target. But it's just there's so many prices in there you could catch. That's where I'm not. Plus, you're doing something much more long term, so probably even if I did understand, I probably wouldn't be able to take huge advantage of it. The thing that I find interesting is that his bias always tends to fall in line with the ones that I use. If it doesn't, then I start asking him more questions. But like the bias for me right now is still higher, and that's what he was saying about ZB, was that the target was still 166.02, right? Wow, they fell back quite a bit there in the third year. I got out at 03, I could have gotten out at 04. Okay, well, I need to post my cryptocurrency notes. Did I post them yesterday? I did post them yesterday. Something's up with my screen today.
YouTube,
It
Algo
keeps
Lover,
giving me...
Seth, you watch the level trade in real time, so you CLD of bought it, stop below the low, maybe 2 ticks, right? You'd be up about 4 PTS instead of us discussing test grinning face.
But okay, that's true. But I'm asking, is that the way that you intend it to trade? Is that the probability is that that level is going to hold? When what would be like, what percentage of the time does it hold? Like 55%? But you're right. We'd be up about 4 points, which is pretty good. That's $20. But it's just all of those little nuances. It's like, okay, so we missed it. Should we still be trying to buy it? Or is it like too late now? You know? There's so many little nuances that could affect the way that I want to trade it. I have to actually understand why I'm trading it. I mean, I guess that's the larger point that I'm trying to make, is there are people will come in and they'll actually give us a very, very good information. For some reason, well, actually not for some reason. We've discussed this many times, and we say that it's because I'm honest, right? But we've attracted a lot of really good traders that have given us a lot of useful information. But I can't trade off of just the signal from somebody else. I have to understand what it is per se, or I have to see something in confluence with it. So it's kind of works like that.
YouTube, algo lover, Seth, a level either holds or it doesn't. Have the larger issue is to know that there's a level, then taking the trade with tight stop and managing that stop as we go thinking face.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. When I list a level, I'm normally thinking of it from the perspective of
Twitch, Elisetti, self-reliance is needed to succeed in trading long-term.
yeah, exactly, Eddie. Like when I post the level, I'm just thinking of it from the perspective of okay, so if we end up with like a trend day, these are the spots that I'm going to be looking for it to take up. But I can't give you any kind of indication about there's a greater than 50% probability that it turns there or not. I can't tell. I can just say that there's something about that spot that there's been interesting action at before, and that's the most that I can say about it. And I can't even recommend a trade through it.
YouTube, algo lover, agreed with all that.
So Algo rather might be saying kind of a similar thing. And you could have said, yeah, they just barely touched it and they backed off. I don't know if it had done something like that in the Treasuries and I had seen, I think I might have taken it along. But in the E-mini, I can't tell if it's actually going to go through it or not. So, I don't know. In the 10-year, for sure, if it had kind of traded like that and come
Sounds
back
like
that
he
way
just
that it
needed to
did.
do less size.
Where was that? Lobby? Yep. There he is. Finance bot. Finance bot cannot read messages.
YouTube, algo lover, trust me, I've been kicked out of more guru-based rooms that you know, because they take money and teach BS confused face.
Wait, what the heck? Oh, yeah, they can. Okay. I've been kicked out of more guru-based rooms than you know because they take money and teach BPS. Really? Hmm. I tell you what, there sure is a lot of bullcrap out there, isn't there? It's just kind of the difficult. It's kind of the difficult thing for it because you want to be able to. Well, like just for me, you notice I do try and explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, but I also very often don't because I feel like that the point is to watch it and you watch it enough that eventually you'd understand why I would think that there was something special about that. And then make your own decision about whether or not you thought that there was something special about it and use them in confluence. But if I just straight up told you the exact thing and said you should just trade exactly like I do, well, for one thing, I'm still kind of flaky at best, so I would not be being honest with you. But then two, I would be robbing you of the actual learning, which is the thing that you actually need to do to be able to trade effectively. Because the issue is even if somebody gives you the signal, I've seen situations where somebody will literally give you the signal and people will still screw it up, you know, because they don't actually have the trading part of it. They can't manage the trade. They can't, so Anyways, but that doesn't mean that people can't come in and post stuff and give us information. It's great. So thank you. I guess, oh no, we're going to type some stuff here. Yep.
YouTube, Algo Lover, I'm offering potential actionable levels, not telling anyone here to take a trade, but if it jives with what you are seeing, then go for it, thumbs up.
Okay, cool. That's fair enough. That's probably the way that it should be done anyways. Cool. All right, well, we did get, they did get in a little bit of an overextension in the coming back, and particularly in ZB, but also in the 5-year. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll hopefully maybe this weekend I'll have some time to look at the bot. I'm probably won't have much time at work anymore. I do want to make it available to everybody at some point though, so that other streamers can use it because I think it's super cool. So yeah. And if you have any ideas, maybe let me know. But I can commit it to the GitHub, and then maybe if anybody else is interested in working on it, you can do that. And yeah, I'm suspect that we'll probably be relatively quiet tomorrow as well. Although we did get some okay trades and all of that in the end. Yeah. Anyways, so I will see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, I guess that's it. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.